Yeah, so it's just going to be a couple of rants and some suggestions from what I've been seeing on the news, particularly in light of everything that's been going on with all these job cuttings and apparently an immigrant from South Africa who's trying to tell us we shouldn't read or believe in what the founding fathers did or what makes us patriots or our constitution, and that we should just blindly obey and want to follow whatever form of government that he wants to shove on us. I don't know, maybe we should start a GoFundMe page and offer to send him back to South Africa. You can try it there, maybe, if he wants. But back to, I know I've done this in previous clips, but it's just some suggestions based on particularly the liberal mainstream media. I understand that there's other forms of news, and most people don't get it from typical cable news shows. But anyway, here we go. It's just way too still. It's just way too linear, like straight line type of analyzing and reporting. Too many lawyers explaining things, and it's just the wrong approach. See, there's like the linear, the straight line, which is fine. That's one aspect. That's the mind. It's logic. You have to combine that with intuition and the higher conscious. What your true intuition is saying. It's difficult because sometimes it whispers, but it's always there. Then you combine that with emotion. So you have the linear, the mind, the logic, plus the intuition, the higher conscious, and the emotion. So, yes, explain just a little bit what they've been doing, about what's been going on, and how it's not legal, and the precedent for that, and you have to do that a little, of course. But we still have Democratic senators and officials. We have people like Dan Goldberg, who was one of the lawyers in Trump's first impeachment. We have Kelly used to be in the Southern District of New York, a lawyer. Ari Melber, Jen Psaki, everyone on CNN. I can go on and on. I have nothing against them. But it's just still the way that we're reporting on this. They're talking about how they hope their Republican colleagues will come around, or how they'll be waiting to see what the courts will do. And I say this all the time. It's like they still don't get it. We're not, we're reporting on the Bush administration, where everyone's adhering to morals and principles and what we used to do, traditions. It's like, do they still not believe that it's out the window? It's completely gone. They are, so many of these Democratic leaders are still playing music while the Titanic is sinking. Grab a fucking boat and a life jacket and start making moves. Have some life and some emotion, some recommendations. What? We are done with the Ivy League debate class law seminars type of reporting. Andrew Weissman up there, who I have so much respect for, is still laughing, making legal jokes about he's a nerd. It doesn't, we just hit an iceberg. Stop playing the piano and the violin. It's like, enough is enough. We have to wake up. Because while we're all busy doing this, Trump and Elon and his traitor crew are plotting and destroying this country at a rapid pace. And by the time you are all done waiting and hoping for the Republicans to wake up or for the courts to save you, Musk and Trump and company will already have stolen billions and have implemented Project 2025. Have to wake up, right? Republicans have no honor. They have shown that. The Republicans in the Senate, in the Congress, in the House of Representatives, other elected officials, they just have no honor. They will not wake up. They will not. Trump does not care about these court cases that he is losing. For fuck's sakes, stop calling them victories. They're not. And here we are, like, it's another, it's another victory for us. Trump, some lower court, some court of appeals, they ruled in our favor, the resistance favor, the rule of law for the Constitution's favor. For fuck's, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just waiting for the Supreme Court to vote in his favor. These are not victories. He does not care about this. It's more time while we are calling them victories and waiting for something. He's behind the scenes with Musk, destroying at a rapid pace, stealing, destroying, tearing down our fabric, our institution, our constitution. Like, do you think that one of these coward Republican Supreme Court justices is going to rule against Trump once it gets to them? This is what like Trump is trying to do. He'll just threaten to send Elon with all of his money, all of his threats on Twitter, whatever information he has already, or Trump will call Patel, the full force of the FBI, and maybe even sprinkle in the Proud Boys, get a little militia in there to go after them. You think that they're going to rule against him after all? Absolutely not. They're not. There's no courts that are like a victory here and we'll see what they do. They will not do it. We're just wasting time. We're wasting time to confront this immediate threat, this emergency right now. You know, why would, and back to Trump again, why would he care about the middle class and inflation? Right? He used MAGA for their votes and does not give one shit now that he is in office. Billionaires don't care about high food costs or high medical bills or high housing costs. Like, we fucking know this. He has zero, Trump has zero intention of leaving office in 4 years. Like, do we actually think they are acting this way, this illegally, and getting their dream of implementing Project 2025 just for a Democratic administration to come into power potentially in 4 years, wiping it all out and prosecuting all these individual traitors? Not one liberal anchor on the news is talking about this. They are not planning on going anywhere in 4 years. We will not patiently wait for midterm elections to see, and in 4 years, hopefully it will all turn around. They are not planning on leaving. This is what they've been waiting for. This is why they're going so fast in the first 60 days. They're tearing it down, so then there's no resistance, and then there's no way that we'll deal with this in 2 or 4 years. And then they wonder why their ratings are shit, right? Like, they wonder why that no one is watching them and getting news elsewhere. They seem so perplexed about reaching people and not being able to get their messages out. They're like frantically asking every guest what to do. Like, the revolution must start now. Why are you not informing us? Media, why are you not informing us more about protesting in front of the Supreme Court? Or about economic boycotts? Or about the organizations involved in protesting? Huh? By the time everyone wakes up, Trump and Musk will have controlled that much more, probably making it nearly impossible to resist. While you were waiting for the courts or pondering why Trump said he would lower grocery prices but has done nothing. I mean, it's so pathetic. Here we are, we're getting playing clips from when he was on the campaign trail talking about how he's going to lower it on day one and see how he's not doing it. Or why Marco Rubio and Senator Lindsey Graham said this about Zelensky or Ukraine and now they're not, or about this or that. It's all a waste of time. We must act now. This is when they are vulnerable. Once all their people get in place and they get all these militias that they're planning on forming, it will be that much more difficult. We don't need to go back and wonder why they did this or that. They have no honor. They have no shame. They are done. We need to move on and figure out what else to do. Got to get the emotion and resist right now before it is too late. Like I was saying, Patel and the DOJ and the DOD, they're not fully strapped in their seats yet. But when they get fully strapped in, things will be so much worse. We have to get on it now. Like, look what Bernie's doing. Look what Bernie's doing right now. He's out in middle America, holding conferences, interviews, talking. Is anyone else doing that? Who's with him? Why is someone not promoting or organizing protests or gatherings of appreciation around these federal buildings in DC? Remember, show the emotion side. Interview USAID workers leaving their offices, showing their human stories. We can talk about how kids are starving overseas because of these cuts that are so crucial to our soft power and to just being a good human being. Interview veterans losing their jobs. Interview them. They're out there walking out the buildings right now. And how it impacts their families. Highlight the patriotism. We have veterans that are getting fired
they're walking, how interview them there, show them the human element, how it impacts their families, highlight the patriotism. We are all in this together. We should be having have live podcasts out there. Do you know what that would do? I guarantee you the fake Fox News would be doing that if the tables were turned. They would be having all their people there, organizing, protesting, making noise, having their shows live broadcast, having all these people fleeing their jobs on their TV programs, especially if some unelected, imagine Obama, right? Some unelected, his boy from Kenya who's rich, the richest person in Africa, was over here cutting veterans' jobs. You think they'd be sitting there on fake Fox talking about, well, Obama said that he would never really do this, or he didn't know about project this, and that? Of course not. They'd be going, making noise, showing the emotion side. Have to emphasize that more. We have to show that the resistance, that we are all with them. Everyone who's impacted by the Elon cuts. We could have music, signs of support, get petitions going. Like I said, have podcasts, do their shows live in front of the federal buildings. There's all these scenes of all these these patriots are leaving with their boxes, given 24 hours notice, sometimes not even, right? Sometimes it's like a half hour or something. We have to take advantage of this. Again, we are all in this together. And then do what Bernie is doing and speak to Americans in the heartland. Show them how un-American, anti-Constitution, unpatriotic, and pro-dictatorship this all is. Show clips of the traitor Marjorie Taylor Greene saying federal workers don't deserve their jobs. Go to Georgia and blast that clip all over local TV commercials. Go there to her constituents and go to all those Southern boys that are working and go show them that we don't matter, that they don't matter. See how that plays out. Lastly, this is a time where dark energy is more in the spotlight. They were in the shadows, but Trump has brought all of them to center stage. He has also, although not intentionally, shown us what in our system is broken, right? They want to tear it down. That is almost like what they are here for, even though they don't technically know it, because they're just to themselves, they're thinking about how acquiring just as much power as possible. But it could be in a very good way if we choose it. The dark energy is here. They're supposed to show what's broken in our system, bring the people out from the darkness who really were the racists, or the people who didn't believe in our Constitution, who are pro dictatorship, right? Maybe we didn't know about them 10 years. Now they're in center stage. They're all in front of us. All the people are showing their true colors. We can choose the good side, though. The darkness is supposed to come to an end, and we must choose that. We are all in this together. Again, this is 1776, not January 6th.